Okay, boom fans, we're back again. Another one, Ebonite The One. So once again, I didn't get a chance to throw the ones in the past, no pun intended, but I'm going to get a chance to throw this one. So first thing I'm going to do, as you've seen in my other videos, I'm going to look up the website and look up the specs. So here it is, the one. I already know something. I've looked up the specs on this before, so I kind of got a little feel. First 10 video by Tommy. I seen that. Man, it looked good. AJ throws it amazing. Okay, so on to the specs. First of all, it's a beautiful bowling ball. I don't know how you can go wrong with teal, purple, and violet. So there's that. It's a solid, which the first time I seen a picture of it, I thought it was going to be pearl. It does come shiny, which not too many solids come shiny, so that's interesting. And I know that the core is super strong, so let's get into the cover type. Solid reactive, 500, 1000, and 2000 Crown factory compound on top of that at the end. I said make sure my mic's on. Not a whole lot of solids they put compound on it, but this one they did. That's cool because I like solids that are shiny sometimes, so that's going to come in handy. Be something different. Made for medium to heavy oil, length with strong back end. Let's see. This one also has dot technology. I talked about that in my past videos. Yes, I'm super psyched about that. Always like that option in case I choose a layout that I've laid balls out before where I got it in my head what I want to do, and then I lay the ball out and the pin's too close to the hole. That sucks. And then I gotta wipe it all off, start over again. Dot technology, roll with it. So there you go. Now under the specs, RG 2.46, fairly low. That means the ball is going to get into a roll and read the lane, or not read the lane necessarily, but get into a roll fairly early. And the differential, the regular differential, just the normal differential is 0.056. That's super high. So far out of those two numbers, super strong core. Super strong core means super strong potential for hook, right? Lots of power, and right. And then we look into the asymmetrical differential, 0.027. Now I'm not 100% sure, but you can go look at all the other asymmetrical differentials, or the intermediate differential, whatever they want to call it. That's one of the highest I've ever seen. What that means is lots of flare. You can get this ball to flare, flare, flare. Now you got to be careful with that, because if you plan on using it and say you're rev dominant or speed challenged or however you want to word it, and you drill this ball strong and think that you're just going to, oh, I can wheel the lane with it. When you go to a bowling alley that's hooks a lot, and what you're going to find is it's going to hook immediately and do nothing on the back end, and you're going to hate it. So don't do that. Make sure you talk to your pro shop people. Make sure they're seeing how you bowl, and make sure they're laying it out to benefit you. Okay. Lots of potential in the core, really strong core. But if you do it wrong, you can pretty much waste your money. So, I mean, you can do that on any ball as far as that goes. But that's my first thought process when I see a ball with a core that strong is I don't have enough speed. I'm getting older. I know when I was younger I had definitely more speed than I have now, but I'm definitely speed challenged. So I don't want to drill this thing too strong. I want it to get its characteristics out of it. I want it to hook, but in order to get its full potential, I'm probably going to delay the flare a little bit, which I'll get into. But anyway, so there's the specs on the ball, right? So now let's talk about layout, because I have had a few different thoughts on this ball. And I think what I'm going to do is delay the flare a little bit. It's going to flare plenty anyway. So for me, if I had more speed, I wouldn't worry about that. But because I don't have enough speed, I'm going to put the pin a little bit further away from the PAP. Now, nothing crazy. I'm not going 6 inches. Some people do that. That's fine. I might do that on some too. Not going to do that on this one. I still want it to hook. I'm just going to do it a little bit further in some, like I did on my other ones. I went 4.5 on my Scorpion Sting, and the reason I went 4.5 is just because I wanted to use it late and in deep. And then I went 4 on my Cuda. I want to use that early. fine. This one, I want to be able to get in deep with it and see if I can get it to make the turn and get through the pins. So I'm going to do the pin distance at 5. The question I was wondering was what I was going to do on my first and third number, but I'm going to figure something out now and basically while I'm making this video decide. So what I was going to do was give a really high, big first number to get the ball down lane, but I don't think I want to do that. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to keep it somewhat simple on the first number. Probably 50 on the first number. Let's see, 50 or 60. Let's go. What was my other one when I did 50? It was right there. I'm going to go 60. That's a little high for me, but it's not super high. I'm going to go 60. So, right? No, I'm going to go 50. So I'm going to go 50, indecisive. Once again, people that know me would definitely tell you I overthink a lot. But sometimes I'm glad I overthink because I'm definitely thinking things through. Sometimes I wish I didn't, but it's what it is. So anyway, I'm going to go 50. 50. I'm going to go 50 on the first number. So I find, so just that I'm getting on here, I know I've talked about it before, other people talked about it before too. When you're doing an asymmetrical ball, you don't pay attention to this CG. It doesn't matter. You ignore it completely. It does not matter. Okay? So you find the pin and you find the mass bias down here, the little dot, the third line, or the third dot. Draw your line through that. So there's your first line, your grip line, or whatever you want to call it. There's that one. Now you go to 0 on the dot here, right? Spine on the line. Make sure everything's still in line. And then find my mark at 50. I think that's what I settled in, back and forth. Okay. Seems kind of consistent. I went 50 on 3 straight balls. But to be fair, the first 2 balls that I just did that in these little succession here that I just did layouts for, the first 2, the first number didn't matter. This one actually matters. So we're going to go 50 on the first one. So there's your 50-degree line. Right now I said I'm going to go 5 inches on this pin. And so the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to put the 5 on the pin and then come down to 0. You can do it either way. You can put 0 on the pin, come down to 5, but I'm going to go my 5 on the pin and mark my 0 here. So I'm 5 inches from the pin right there. That's where my axis is going to be. Now for the third number. Now this is where I want the ball to be able to change direction, but it's already got so much flare potential and the differential super high. The lower the number, at least this is what I've been taught, feel free to correct me in the comments. The lower the number you have, that third number, it kind of helps that differential and helps that flare. So you're really kind of, what's the word I'm looking for, accelerating that differential. So I don't want to go too crazy, but I think I'll go 30, which is still pretty strong. I thought about 20, so a lot of times on balls I want to do that, I'll go 20. This one I'll just do 30. So yeah, 30 is what I'll go on the last number. So put my 0 on the mark I just made for my PAP, spine on the line, 0 on the mark, find my 30, mark my 30, right, there's my mark. Now run my line through my PAP and that mark I just made, and that gives me my third number at 30. So this one's going to be laid out 50 by 5 by 30. So now that I've went there, this is my VAL line. Once again, my PAP goes 3/4 down, so I go on that VAL line that I just made. Go 3/4 down. Right. And put my spine on the VAL line. My 0 on the mark that I just made. Run my line over here to the grip. Once I see this, I'll know if I like it or not. So let's make sure I got it. 5 5/8, right? All right, 5 5/8. Let's go ratchet. Oh, I lost my 0. Hold up. 5 5/8. Right here. Okay, so there's my grip line. So put my spine on that. 0 on the line I just made for the grip line. And then, yeah, I think this is about what I wanted. I had it pictured in my head. So now, my fingers are going to be about there. Thumb's going to be in this area here. And there you go. 50 by 5 by 30. We'll see how that works out when I get the bowling done with it. See what happens. I hope to get this drilled tonight. All 3 of these drilled tonight. And be able to use at least some of it in league tomorrow. So we'll see what happens. And then I'll have a video. I'll start to make a video with it after that. And then I got tournament this weekend, things like that. So anyway, there you go. And now we'll drill it up, put some holes in it. Let's go.